So this is like super irritating and annoying. Not only is the topic high-key distressing, I've also already done this video, you guys. I did this on Monday. I did the video, I edited it and everything, and I was about to post it and I was just like, you know what? There's so many things I left out. There's so many things that I shouldn't have said. It was a mess. But that's also probably because I was a total mess. I was just like, whew. Are you ready? Because I'm not. Welcome back to Dope Trauma Recovery, y'all. I am super not really excited to be doing this video again because it was kind of emotional before. So, attachment disorder. What do I mean when I say that? I think that's kind of like just important to start off with. Generally, it's a generalized term, and that's how I'm going to be using it in this video. Attachment disorder just refers to people who suffered trauma or suffered something in their lives that has made it harder for them to create relationships, maintain relationships, and really create those meaningful connections. Specifically though, there is reactive attachment disorder and disinhibited attachment disorder, I believe. So reactive attachment disorder, from my understanding, I'm no doctor or psychologist, I'm not certified in anything. My understanding of reactive attachment disorder is that it's children who have experienced trauma, and the effect of that is that, they don't really attach well to others. They're experiencing the inability to show emotion, as well as the inability to attach and kind of create those meaningful connections. So it's not that they don't feel, it's just that, they don't feel. I actually think I have a lot of components related to reactive attachment disorder, so I will explain that later. And disinhibited attachment disorder kind of does the opposite. It's when, children are a little bit too friendly. Children are typically more shy, and, typically just biologically, innately connected to the mother, connected to the parent, connected to their household. They do wander away, they do talk to other people, but it is like their brain or whatever tells them not to do that, because it's just like an animal instinct. So disinhibited attachment disorder, they're just overly friendly, I guess is the word. I don't really know how else to describe it. That's a bad way to describe it, because being friendly is awesome. For me, my attachment disorder, and something that's really been coming up a lot lately, in the sense that I've been having involuntary panic attacks, constantly. I'm having an anxiety attack kind of right now, just talking in this video, which is why maybe I'm talking really fast. Maybe you can't even tell, because I'm just so normalized and used to it. Wow, that's really sad. Yeah. They freaking suck, because these are rolling panic and anxiety attacks. I have no idea sometimes why they're caused. Sometimes I do know why they're caused. And when I say rolling, I mean, they start and then they stop and then they start right back up again. That's how I feel about them. They're just so uncomfortable. They're the absolute worst. This hasn't happened to me in 2 years, since college. And that's how I was first diagnosed with bipolar disorder, because I was like, what the freak is going on? So that's why I'm here with this video talking to you guys about it. It's kind of forced me to prematurely, and things I was ready for, deal with some of the issues that I wasn't really trying to deal with. I'm not gonna do a huge recap here. If you're brand new to this channel, for the past few months, I've been having some mood instability stuff happening with my bipolar disorder. Anxiety has been fine though. It's just all of a sudden now it's whoosh. But with the bipolar disorder, I've been hypomanic for the past few months, and I've just been doing things I knew weren't helpful for me and my mental health, especially in the long run. But I didn't care, so we were just doing whatever we wanted to do. But I care now, and it's not just because of this. I cared beforehand. This is just speeding up the process of me caring. So yeah, that's how I started to really think about my attachment disorder more. I did a lot of work, I think, in the spring, and in the summer I just stopped thinking about it. So when I say I did a lot of work, feel free to check the video out up there though, because it provides you with so many more details, and it's a lot more accurate, and I think it's a good video. But I essentially was adopted by my aunt and uncle at the age of like 4.5, 5, whatever. But before then, I had jumped around from home to home. I lived with my grandmother, I lived with my mom, my birth mom, I lived with my father, I lived with my aunt and uncle on my dad's side, I lived with my aunt and uncle on my mom's side. It was just a lot of moving around. You know, I've heard like mixed stories about where I was before the age of 4 and like who was living with who and for how long. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone really knows. Like, I feel like that's problematic. And it wasn't that like these homes were abusive or anything. That's not like where the trauma comes from. It's not that, you know, any of these people were not loving to me. It's not any of that. As it relates to the specific attachment disorder or what I'm dealing with, it's more so that I moved around. Like, I literally moved around different places at such a young age. And my birth mom, she was like nowhere really to be found except for birth. And I obviously knew of her and I saw her a little bit and I talked to her, but she wasn't the central person like raising me, or there was no central person raising me at all. Unfortunately, it's a lot larger than that in the sense that, see? Oh God, if I cry again. In addition to moving around households, my mother was constantly in and out my life. And this didn't just happen until the age of 4. This happened until she passed away when I was in high school. But she had her own mental illnesses, and she would come in and out of my life just randomly, it seemed. Sometimes, you know, it'd be planned. She would make plans to do something, and then she wouldn't show up. You know, her phone would be cut off randomly. You know, sometimes she'd say like, okay, I'm gonna meet y'all Sunday for, you know, breakfast, and then we wouldn't see her for a year, legit. So as you can imagine, like that starting from birth, the kind of like, it felt as though every single time that she disappeared or canceled or like she didn't show up to what she was supposed to show up to, it was like the rug was being kicked out underneath for me, and I was like just free falling, because like growing up, I've now connected to this emotion. That's the only thing I ever wanted growing up, was my mom in my life. Oh, getting emotional. Was my mom in my life, like, you know, everyone else has their mother in their life. This memory literally just flashed in my mind when I said she disappeared. It was that I was walking down the street. I think I was still a kid, so I don't really know why I was walking down the street at 10. It was a very, like, you know, close-knit community. It was a safe place, I think. But I was walking down the street and I saw my mom, my birth mom. I saw her on the street and I was just like, hello, mother. Like, hey, how are you? And I hadn't seen her in months, hadn't talked to her in months, had no idea where she was. She was just as surprised to see me. But it was like, that's very strange. So it's like, imagine catching up with like an old friend, but that old friend is your mother. Yeah. This is also a newish memory that's popped into my mind. I remember calling my mother. I lived with my father at the time for however long I lived there. I remember, you know, at the age of like 3, I must have been 3 or 2 years old, which is like, I don't know how the hell I remember this. Anyway, when I was super young and I was still with my father, I was living in Tennessee. I had moved from Chicago to Tennessee, just with him, you know, and my sister and like whoever else was there. And we would call my mom on the phone, because I remember, I guess it was, you know, I would call my mother because she's my mother. I don't need a reason. All the time, I don't have any memories of her picking up the phone and us having a conversation. No memories of that. But for some reason I have lots of memories, or just one memory, single memory of her like not picking up the phone most of the time. And like me just looking at my father with like probably the saddest look ever, like, why doesn't my mom want to call me? Why doesn't she want me? Why doesn't she want to talk to me? Where is my mother? I know she's around, but like, why is she doing all these other things instead of like nurturing me? Is essentially what the face probably looked like. And I just remember him just looking at me and being like, had like no words, you know, just like no words. And I think that's kind of what all the people in my life in terms of adults kind of did. I think that even within this past week, I've realized that, you know, a lot of my anger that I talked about in my last video, or like a few videos ago, whenever, I described myself as being angry at my family, everybody but my mother. And it's true, I am angry at like my father, I am angry at my aunt, I am angry at my uncle, I'm angry at all of them. But I'm also really, really angry at my mother. And I think that's an emotion I have to kind of embrace, and I don't know how the fuck you do that. But like, I have to kind of come to terms with somehow. Growing up, I remember I would always, the initial reaction, I can't remember if the initial reaction was sadness or anger. It is coming back to me, the anger piece, when she wouldn't show up, or when she would say something and she wouldn't do it. That anger piece is coming up now a lot more, or I'm remembering how angry I was as a kid towards her. But I was always afraid of either showing that anger or like fully embracing that anger, because she already didn't want, and I say want as in like, this is how I thought as a kid. It wasn't like, I mean, I hope she wanted to see me. But anyway, she already didn't want to see me like as a kid or whatever. She just didn't want to see me. So like if I was angry at her, like why would she want to see an angry child, you know? So it was like, I was angry and then I was like, okay, don't get angry. Don't show that, because then like you'll never see her. Ultimately that didn't really change anything. It was just some hard years. So as y'all know, I also recently, I guess not so recently now, it feels recently, but I'm doing much better. I'm feeling much better. I was in a relationship that ended up breaking up with them, and I was very, very sad, half because like obviously I should be sad, but you know, a lot of it was to the extreme, and I could feel that linkage to like my attachment issues, in the sense that like it was just a lot, and that's actually why these panic attacks started, and anxiety attacks started, and like why I've been kind of like doing fine, because I have a toolbox and I know how to manage. But at the same time, like rolling panic attacks all the time throughout the day suck ass, and I've been a mess internally because of the stupid breakup thing. I've actually decided to be friends with the person, and you know, I think that's going pretty well. You know, it's complicated, but we're working on it. But a lot of it was, you know, just getting used to that change in relationship. You know, going from someone you used to date, you see them all the time, they text back all the time, you know, they don't cancel plans, like all of these different things that come with like you're the essentially you're the priority in a relationship, and when you're friends, you know, you're a priority sometimes, but like you're not as high up. I don't know, that whole definition just made me uncomfortable, but y'all get it, right? So in being friends with this person, I had to do a whole nother video on like toxic people. Not that this person, well, we'll see. So I was feeling a lot of strong feelings around all of that, and becoming in the switch of the relationship, or the relationship dynamics with this person. I started to realize, I was like, this isn't like, my anger and my sadness and these panic attacks aren't about you. They are about you. Like, yes, I'm sad, but like, this is like intense, bro. Like, this is not, and I don't even feel like that strongly. I do feel that strongly, but like, not this strongly. And that's like insane to say, because I felt very strongly about the breakup. This is like, I thought like one day I did not know how I was gonna make it through. I was sobbing uncontrollably, like sobbing outside when I walked my dog. Like, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. It was like, most times I'm very, very good at like managing these symptoms because I've had them so much. But that was like, as you can imagine, the same feeling, you know, I got from my mother, or the same feeling I got when my mother didn't show up for her own surprise birthday party. When I was 6, she was supposed to come over to my aunt and uncle's house / my house, you know. We were throwing her this huge birthday thing, and it was supposed to be super fun. She didn't know it was a birthday thing, but she knew that we were making dinner for her to come over. And we blew up balloons and everything. And, you know, we stayed up to like 11 p.m. I was super young, so, you know, it's late for me. And she just never came. And I don't think we saw her for like another 2 weeks. And like, it was just like, hey, you literally ghosted us / like stood us up. So it's that same emotion that I felt then. Every single time this person cancels plans, or every single time this person doesn't text back, or every single time this person, you know, is kind of like just off-puttish, doesn't give me the attention they used to give me. I'm feeling that same extreme emotion. Now, yes, that could make me feel some type of way, but deep down inside, I knew, I was like, the weird thing was, is I understood why this person was doing like what they were doing. Like, you know, I have friends, I am a friend, things come up, people cancel, I don't see text messages, especially, you know, if you're not dating the person. Like, I understand that, I'm not crazy, but like, I felt that emotion. I was like, why am I so like, why do I feel abandoned right now? Why do I feel so betrayed? And it was extreme enough to cause these panic attacks. That's when I realized all of this, and I really made these connections, you guys. So profound, I guess. Forced, definitely. But at least we're here now. We're moving forward in this recovery process. I don't really know what to do about any of this. It was really just to explain to people how hard it is living with attachment disorders, or like living with these attachment issues, / to empathize and be there with people who are also like, know what the fuck I mean. It's the sense that, you know, I either experience emotions like way too fully, like to like the extreme, just 0 to 100 really fast. Like, yes, you're supposed to feel all types of emotions. Like, it's healthy to feel sad. It sucks, but like, if you don't feel sad and you're just happy all the time, then like, maybe you should see somebody. Like, no shade there, like, honestly. But no, like, you're supposed to experience all the array of emotions. It's just that, you know, when someone doesn't text me back and then all of a sudden it feels like they just told me to get the fuck out their lives, just like that, something is up. And it's like with every little thing that was happening. And this isn't the first time this has happened. It happened with my best friend in high school. I was going through a depressive period and he really helped me through it. I latched onto him significantly. And it was these same dynamics. It's just that, you know, with this relationship part, it really does feel like abandonment in a different way, maybe. I don't know. That's the hard part. It's like really dealing with the fact that, like, okay, is this a real emotion? Do you have the right to get mad at this person? Or like, at this extreme level, did this person do anything that was wrong? Or are they setting boundaries? Are you setting boundaries? I don't know. That's all the things that are running through my mind. It's the problem with mental illness. It's like trying to figure out what's real and what's not. Like, what do you feel versus like what do normal people feel? What is normal? Is there normal? And if you heard any weird noises in this video, it's my dog. He's drinking water right now. He's thirsty. I tried to get him to be quiet, but he's a puppy, so just ignore it. Remember, if you liked this video, always give it a like. If you want to leave a comment, tell me about your experience or like help me figure out what the fuck's going on in my mind, leave a comment. And of course, please subscribe because I upload new videos every week. And you can also turn on those subscription notifications because, you know, then you'll know when I'm uploading a video. All right, y'all. Peace.